11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome, everybody. I think everything is working, but give me some feedback. We're broadcasting now on 3 different platforms, so curious to hear back from each of those on how well the sound is working and so forth. I got some fans. I guess I could turn that fan off. All right, we're going to be talking about some amazing news that you will not believe that is breaking, that is of utmost importance about the Gun Rights Policy Conference. How do I get this off the screen? Like this? Like this. So we're going to be talking about the Gun Rights Policy Conference that's happening in Salt Lake City here in this weekend. I probably could have brought this up first. Let's bring this up and see what happens. Well, I do have the fan going underneath my laptop. That's a new thing for the studio, I guess. So let me know if you're hearing any noise from that. I guess, again, I could turn that down. Or I guess even off. I don't think I'm going to overheat at 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's find out. All right, no comments yet, but I do see a bunch of people joining us, so welcome on the different platforms that people are scared to comment on for whatever reason. Or maybe they just don't show up over here. Maybe they are not actually piped over here the way they act like they're supposed to. But anyway, we're taking a look at Minuteman University here. This is one of our resources that we've built out there on the universe, the internet. It's a place to just archive, where we are as a gun community and industry. So the Gun Rights Policy Conference started back in the 80s. It started in 1986. And each year it travels to a different state. For a long time, it would alternate between, like you'd say, a free state and a non-gun-friendly state. And then, it's continued to do that, actually. It hasn't ever done it. I think once or twice it stayed in the same city. No, it never has. So anyway, I don't have this updated as of and when do I have this updated? As of 2019? I need to update this. So maybe there are. I think they stayed in Texas for a couple of years because of the bullshit that happened in 2020. So, but basically it's a 3-day event. Now it's call it a 3-day event. It starts Friday night, goes throughout the weekend. Hosted by the Second Amendment Foundation, provided by the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, the CCRKB. And that's the sister organization to Second Amendment Foundation. I suspect it has something to do with bookkeeping and taxes and that kind of thing. When you're a nonprofit like Second Amendment Foundation is, they can educate or they can lobby or whatever it is they do, but I don't think they can just also do something like a conference like this. So that's where that comes from. So, or I think that's why they made that separate organization. So that's the organization that raises funds and provides the Gun Rights Policy Conference, as far as I understand it. Then you've got the Second Amendment Foundation, of course, which puts it on. And it's been going on now, like I say, for many years. For a long time, it was really probably the only way for the various activists at the time, writers, researchers, and folks like that to get together. And it's probably been integral multiple times over that history to things that have happened, either legislation or court cases, or cases, I guess, brought to the court based on the amount of effort put into the court case. So the strategy behind that. But then you get into more recently, but even in the past, media collaborations, and I don't know if media campaign collaborations have ever been strategized at the GRPC. But in any case, it's an interesting organization. It's an interesting event that's been going on for a while. So it's got some history. I'm going to close this out. I'll drop a link to that if anybody's curious about it. I probably should have put that in the original stuff. I'm getting beeps over here. Oh. Let's see. So I don't know. I'll give Clover a link here in a bit. Just reading some messages over here. I'm dropped the link to Minuteman University. Like I say, I'll update that here soon with the more recent GRPCs or gun rights policy conferences that have been held. So I've been a fan of the Gun Rights Policy Conference personally since 2015. So I guess that's been 10 years now. I've known about it for a long time, since probably about 2004 or 5. Charles Heller here in Tucson has a radio show, and he's always done the audio soundboard, I guess you'd call it, for the event live. But because he's, has this focus of broadcasting, and he's able to do the audio, and the nature of the internet has not been consistent. It was a lot slower and less people were using it back in the day. Throughout all the time that Charles has been involved with it, he's been recording the Gun Rights Policy Conference, and then in different media formats been providing that for people free of charge. It's a really cool service, and I knew Charles was doing that and putting that amount of effort into something, providing an audio recording of basically a bunch of gun nerds talking about gun nerd stuff. It was always interesting to me, but in 2015, I finally was, I guess, intrigued enough and, in the right frame of mind to go try it or go check it out myself. And it was in Phoenix, so that made it very easy. So thanks again to Charles for keeping it in my mind so that in 2015 I could experience it. So I went into this room in Phoenix at a hotel in 2015 and listened to basically the conference. At that time was each group or organization maybe that represented a state, or mostly the states, but every once in a while some area of interest or something, or maybe an attorney. A lot of attorneys would talk. They would get up, kind of present their, here's where we're at, here's what the situation is, maybe a call to action, like we need some help with this or that. So I thought that was interesting, getting presentations from each of these entities in the, let's call it the gun nerd realm, right? The gun policy and the gun rights, gun owners' rights. So people like Alan Corwin were there, Charles Heller, the different writers, and then, like I said, a lot of attorneys and researchers, and then representatives from some organizations, either there to make policy or to just show up. We're all there, and it was an interesting get together, and it really inspired me for a number of things. One, to see how small our organization is. I've been going to SHOT Show at that point for about 10 years, so I knew how big the industry was, and it's not that big. You can go to SHOT Show, and the concrete industry is at the same week as SHOT Show. It always has been, and we used to be in the same building. So for a long time, we could just walk out the parking lot and look over and see how big the concrete industry was. And the concrete industry could walk out, look over, and see how big the gun industry was. And I think for a while there, we were about the same. And then I think we kind of got bigger. At least we spread out more. And then what happened is we went over to we went to Florida for the last time. And then we went to the Sands, and we never went back to the convention center because the concrete industry took over the entire convention center, which spread out and became bigger. So I would say the concrete industry is maybe neck and neck. Somebody could do some research on that. But size-wise, they're bigger than us, like the concrete industry. And it makes sense, I guess. They have bigger equipment or whatever. But anyway, physically, we've seen how big the gun industry is, or I've been able to see how big the gun industry is for 10 years at that point. So when I sat down in that room with 400 people, which was essentially represented all of the gun owners' rights groups, I saw how fragile we are, how small our infrastructure is, and unfortunately how dispersed and independent and non-connected they are. So I can remember walking out into the hallway and walking over to the Arizona Citizens Defense League. There was like 5 guys that ran the Arizona Citizens Defense League at the time. And I knew that, they're significant here in Arizona for sure. But I was beginning to understand our significance in Arizona as a leader in the first concealed carry and then constitutional carry realms, because we were one of the first states for both of those. Why? Because of the Arizona Citizens Defense League. This group of guys that I knew that were just like, 4 old guys that everybody disregards, but they were just persistent and they acted every single gun show, every single event, and that persistence, they'd go to every single legislator, meeting or whatever. They'd challenge every bad gun law and they'd put new gun laws on the table. They'd write them and give them to the legislators. They'd give them reports, all the stuff that a gun owners' rights group is supposed to do. And I watched them do this. So I knew the 5 guys were able to do this in Arizona. And as I kind of woke up and started to pay attention to this stuff, I saw how Arizona was leading the way for the country. And that's simply that, like 5 guys, a couple of them who came from Virginia, the Virginia Citizens Defense League, inspired them to create the Arizona Citizens Defense League, got enough momentum in Arizona with enough persistence and effort to change laws here in Arizona, which then led the way for the rest of the country. And it was literally that simple. Like it all comes down to that. So when I saw that the Gun Rights Policy Conference was so few people and that they were so, let's say, technologically backwards, that I immediately walked out and I volunteered to be the media guy for the Arizona Citizens Defense League, so that at least I could do something. Because like I said, each of the presentations was, here's where we're at and here's what we need. And what was common between almost all of them, and this was in 2015, keep in mind, one of the most common, what do we need, was we need presence on the internet. We need help with our websites. We need help. And honestly, I think it's probably always been like that. But the thing was, I heard that as a website guy in 2015. The internet was not new. The internet was commonplace, and it was not a difficult thing to achieve what you needed to do on the internet, without massive effort. So it was frustrating to hear so many of us, people in our community that were lacking that. So, I'd said, okay, what can I do? I rolled up my sleeves and began that journey. That's a whole nother story. But that's what the Gun Rights Policy Conference, where I became aware of it and how it inspired me. So then in 2016, I couldn't afford to follow it to Florida. 2017, it went to Texas. And that's where I was able to get on the road and get to see it in Texas. 2018, it went to Chicago. Went to it there. That was great expense. I started to go broke. And then in 2020, it didn't do it. In 2019, they went to Phoenix. I think that's the one when Clover showed up at. And then in 2020, they chickened out and didn't do it. And then in 2021, I don't remember, did they do it in Texas twice or something? Maybe they did do it in 20, and I should shut up. I'll have to go do my research. But I've been to all of them since 15. Well, I've been to all of them since 17, except for the one they didn't have. And then I quit going to them. I've been to quite a few of them, and I just ran out of money. And this year it's the same. I'm not spending the money to go up there. But I do want to talk about it today. And hopefully, I'm not going to try to inspire anybody to go to it, but hopefully inspire some people to listen to it. And now, if you're in Salt Lake City, get over there. It's free. It's provided by the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. That's this logo on the right side of the screen. It's a sister organization to the Second Amendment Foundation, but they're essentially the same. Alan created both of them. Like I say, I'm pretty sure it's a financial thing. He may have addressed it in the past or whatever. But basically, it's free of charge for anybody that wants to show up. It doesn't matter your affiliation or your perspective on this. You could be an anti and show up. You're welcome. It's a convention, a conference. But the reason I'm doing this is because I am a little bit jealous I didn't get up there this year, because it does look like they've changed some things. 2022 was in Phoenix or in Dallas. how bad the audio was. I don't think they listened to me, unfortunately, because if they listened to me, they'd have actually done something. But I think they listened to a bunch of people that got pissed. I definitely mentioned that. But sorry, thanks for the comments, though. I'm seeing the comments over here for the first time. So the conference is free for anybody who wants to show up. You get lunch. They do have vegan options, which I think is cool. And then there's a get together tonight, Friday night, for all the people that are going to be there. And then there's a get together tomorrow night with food. So lunches are free. I don't think there's probably only one lunch nowadays. So lunch on Saturday is free, and then the dinner / food while you're standing around drinking. So Friday night, everybody gets together, and that's a pretty neat opportunity for the first timers because you get to kind of see everybody, just like going to any industry event. You get to hang out with people. But when you get to go hang out with people off the clock, it's a little fun, different, right? I don't know if it's better or worse because you get to see people with their hair down. Sometimes that's delusional. I don't know what the word is. But it's not always that great. Some people are not that great. We're not all perfect, for sure. Our community is not all full of perfect people, and some of us are not perfect. And that became clear to me probably the second time I went. The first time I wasn't really paying attention, but the second time I was like, oh, we've got some people here that are all full of shit and whatnot. And that becomes really apparent when they're just sitting around talking, especially after they're drinking. So anyway, that's kind of interesting. On Friday, you get to kind of get together, and most of the people that know each other, it's real cliquey. Most of the people that know each other are going to hang out with each other. A couple of people wander around and say hey to each other. But then by Saturday, after everybody's been sitting around talking and had a chance to wander over and say hey to more people, it becomes a little bit different. Get together on Saturday night. It's longer. There's food. Like I say, people have had a chance to chat and talk to each other. Maybe they've seen somebody's presentation or something. They know who they are now. So there's definitely more conversations happening that second night. And honestly, I'd say that's the reason I want to be there. I don't really care about I do care about the conference part, and I'd like to be there in the seats with them. But those evening events are where a lot of shit gets done. A lot of information gets transferred, and that's definitely the best part. If they could stream that, it would be neat, but it's really not possible and it wouldn't be appropriate. But definitely, the best part of the GRPC, that's the chocolate on top. So anyway, well, let's take a look. It's going to be tonight, that get together, but then also what we'll be talking about is AmmCon, which is also today. And then the main event is tomorrow, I think. Well, we've got the dates here, but it'll start at 7 a.m. What? Oh, no, it's today. It'll start at 8 a.m. And then run through 3 p.m. Then it'll run through 5 p.m. Nice. So it's a full day. And then Sunday, it'll be 9 a.m. through just noon. So definitely a week, Saturday, Sunday. So most of it happens tomorrow. So it'll be a full day. But we're about to go through the agenda and take a look at what I just scrolled through there. Before that, though, today, Friday, starting in 2017, when I first started to get, that second gun rights policy conference I attended in Dallas, I guess. It might be Fort Worth. I have no idea. It's all the same city to me. But I'm going to say Dallas. That's the first AmmCon I attended, and I could go on and on. If Clover jumps in here, we might be able to talk more about this. I don't want to shit on it, but I went to that first one. I was very disappointed, and I let him know. And that was probably my first introduction that I'd met Paul like 4 or 5 times before that, but that was the first time he remembered me because I was talking shit about his thing. But it really bothered me. In 2017, there was a very active Second Amendment advocacy community, and we did not need to be introduced to the people at AmmCon. I really don't think they needed to be introduced to each other, and that's all it was a bunch of introductions. So that was frustrating, and I put a bunch of effort into trying to get them to understand that there's a thing called, the whole point of this thing is to talk about technology and how to broadcast, and we could use those tools to not be introduced to each other for the first time at the event. We could get together every month and then use the event for something more collaborative and useful once a year when we all get together in front of GRPC. But what they did instead was drive us all to Chicago in 2018 and literally do the exact same thing. I think all they did is change, scribble out the 4 or whatever it was, scribble out the 7 and scribble in an 8, because it was the exact same event. The only difference was Alan Corwin made this girl cry. Like, so it was, nobody wants to talk about it, I'll talk about it. Alan Corwin made a girl cry at AmmCon. I mean, that's the kind of event it was. So I was pissed. I spent a lot of money. I was going broke getting up there, and it was the same event. So I've had a frustrated hate relationship with AmmCon. And I don't like, I mean, I like everybody at it. It's just that what they're doing is wasting everybody's time, I think. But that, that's my opinion. And I'm sitting here in my house and they're doing the actual work. So, put that on a scale, they weigh more. So got Charlie, who has been working with it. He's done both good and not awesome stuff at the AmmCon. The one I did attend, the last one I've been to a couple of them now, but I did get pretty pissed and quit going to them, and I'm not there now. But the one that I did attend when they went back to Phoenix drove me more nuts, because they attempted to talk about AI, and they brought up a mentally crippled person to talk about AI who's never even used AI, like doesn't even know what it is, trying to fucking instruct people on AI. Come on. So it's just, I like them, but I'm not a fan of what they've been putting out here. But I'm trying to be open-minded, and we're going to talk about what they've got going on today. If they're streaming it, I'll be streaming it and watching it, because some of this stuff does look interesting to me. But then I'm even more stoked about what's going on with Second Amendment Foundation, because as I went to post about it, I noticed that they've got some interesting people speaking this year, and I haven't looked at the agenda. I'm trying not to read it as I scroll up here, but we'll discover this together, whether or not the agenda is going to be different this year, or whether or not it's going to be a different event this year. All right. So let me give Clover a link here. I'll put it, I'm going to just give it to you in the Discord, I guess. All right. So like I say, today will be AmmCon. We'll take a look at that first. I've been attempting. I started this thing because I got up this morning to try to find out when AmmCon starts and who's streaming it or whatever. There was some reference to it being streamed on their Facebook page. I hate Facebook, so that's frustrating to me. I'm sure they only do it on Facebook because they know I hate it, and that's the only reason they would only do it there. But they do it on Facebook, and I have not found any kind of Facebook link to it or anything. So that's why I was like, well, I can't do. Clover's in here. Thanks for jumping in. But I'm leaving this on screen. There's no need to see us.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, I've been looking around their Facebook. Now, I suck at Facebook. I go to Facebook 4 times a year. That's one of the reasons I hate it. It's because I don't like keeping up with it, because I hate it. So it's got to go back, it's a loop. But anyway, I tried looking for their AmmCon thing. And when I was looking for it is when I found all these guests that are going to be at the Gun Rights Policy Conference. And I was like, well, shit, I better do something, because it looks like they're changing their stripes. So that being said, and like I say, I don't have anything against any of the people. Like, I like all these people. In fact, I think I acknowledge that they're the ones doing work. I'm over sitting here being a critic, but I'm not fucking be a critic because I don't like the way they're doing it. I think there's better ways to do it.
Yeah.
In the past, like I say, I'm going to give them all the opportunity here to make this year different. So I guess it starts at 9:00. I'm assuming their time, which was an hour ago. I'm guessing it's not streaming then, because it's 9:00 here. And this is in Utah, and I'm pretty sure Utah is in Mountain Time. It's 10. It's 11:00 for you, or no? It's 10:00 for you in Texas.
11. It's 11 for me.
Oh shit! Oh, you're east? No, there's no way you're east.
It's 11:00. It's 10:58, bro. I'm in Central.
In Central. Huh. So then I think this started an hour ago. Yeah, that would make sense. Because if it's 9 here, it would be noon then.
Let me do a quick search. AmmCon.
Well, please do. I've been asking. I asked on Instagram to Charlie and Cheryl. So if anybody is going to know, it's going to be them, and they'll tell me. So I'm guessing it's not. But again, if somebody knows about it, I'll shut this down and we'll start up a parallel stream. Because if they are streaming it just on Facebook, I refuse to, watch it there. I'll watch it and broadcast it to YouTube. But anyway, at 9 o'clock, it's supposed to start. And then you got a welcome by Riding Shotgun with Charlie. News to a... Oh, I think this is just all the things that Charlie has done. So that's his different things. That's cool. And I think he's organizing it now. All right. Then you got this one I really wanted to see. The pitch sheet. Is that what you call it?
Me? No.
What do they call that?
I call it a pitch. I call it a pitch deck. But
that, right. So that's what, and then it used to be a media kit. So it's like, now there's pitch sheet. So I was like, well, number one, I want to hear about this. But number two, where the hell did pitch sheet come from? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, then earned media. What the hell does that mean? Like, is that a new thing or is that something I didn't know about? Earned media. Okay, it says refers. This is what the robots are telling me.
I can't find any live anywhere.
Yeah,
so you're aware.
The hell out of me.
Lame.
And I can see Charlie not knowing or being able to reply to me because he's probably running the thing right now. But Cheryl's just sitting there, like she could reply to me if it was happening. So I just don't think it's happening. So anyway, earned media refers to unpaid exposure a brand receives from third-party sources like news outlets, customers, and influencers. That's you. You people listening to us, such as positive reviews, social media mentions, or media coverage. It is a form of publicity gained through organic word of mouth, media outreach, or creating newsworthy content that earns genuine trust and credibility as it is not controlled or paid for by the company itself. Examples include blah, blah, blah. So that's what Amanda Suffolk is talking about. So I definitely wanted to hear that. I don't know about you, but that sounds interesting as shit to me. And like I said, I'm really not sure what a pitch sheet is. I'm gonna actually put that into the robots and find out. But because have they done? I don't want to say they've never done it because I'm not going to act like I pay 100% attention to every AmmCon anymore.
I don't remember anything on a pitch deck or a pitch sheet or a media kit. I don't ever remember.
Because that's down in real. Like that's for real stuff we need. So I'm down with that. That's why I'm stoked. Like I really want to hear about that. Amanda Suffolk doing it. I'd rather somebody. I don't know. I'd be bitching if a rich person was doing it because they're too rich. Blah 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 blah. And I'd be bitching if a poor people do it. So Amanda's right in the middle. I don't know. But maybe a committee doing it. I don't know. But I'd like to see more than an hour on a pitch deck. To me, I think that's something that our community needs a lot. Or bring in, here's how you do a pitch sheet. And then here's like 17 desperate companies that are willing to work with somebody here today. Like, I think that could have been arranged by somebody like the Second Amendment Foundation. Just saying. Actions speak louder than words. Michelle Serino. Do you know her?
Nope.
I'm going to put her in the thing and see if we know who she is. Actions speak louder than words. I don't know what that means, but all right. I don't disagree with that, I guess. I'm going to ask what a pitch sheet is to the robots. It took them 124 seconds to say a pitch sheet or pitch deck is a short visual presentation designed to generate interest in a business, product, or story. Its content and format can differ depending on the audience, such as an investor's, sales, clients, or media outlets. You'll typically have a cover slide, a problem, solution, target market, team, and a call to action. I would have never thought of any of that.
Yep.
Oh, I've seen this lady because I've seen the picture of her on one of their things. Do I have how do I bring up my pictures on this computer? This is, maybe I didn't download her picture. But this is her. They have a GRPC image of her. She kind of looks like the Miklik. But she's Princess Gunslinger, a trainer, writer, hunter, and most importantly, an adventuress, speaking new places to explore and share. So whenever I see women's outdoor news, I had bad experience with them. So my spidey sense goes up. Like, what are they going to tell us? Kind of like if AdventLink was coming in to tell you about how to make money or something. Like, oh, okay, you're going to tell us about women's outdoor news, I think. Then there's going to be a break. Then turning strangers into raving fans. Jared Markle. You know who that is?
Nope. I mean, Student of the Gun, I'm aware, but I mean, I'm not a raving fan for sure.
Oh, okay.
So they don't do. He doesn't do a very good job with me, apparently.
Is
He's
this
funny.
Is this him?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him, or do I know him? I don't think I know him. He's not. Does he have like a YouTube name? Student of the Gun, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So,
Jared Markle is oh man, what is he I'm trying to think what Jared was doing.
like a YouTube thing?
Yeah, Jared is like the MMA guy. Man, what was he into? Was he into the Tusk stuff
No, I
at
think
one
you're conflating
time?
people.
Or yeah, I can't remember. There was something that Jared was. Oh, Full 30. Jared is Full 30.
Oh, wait a minute. Full 30
Took a
was the
minute.
thing that was trying to rip off guntube.org
Yeah, right.
in the old days.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Jared was Full 30. Yeah. Took me a minute.
Yeah. Well, then that is okay. So 54,000 subs. I'll just leave it at that. 54,000 subs all these years later, and he had a thing that made a bunch of money for some people. So, well, here, how many people know about AmmCon? How many people are going to go to AmmCon? How many people are willing to talk at AmmCon? That's like a circle that gets smaller, smaller, and smaller. So it's not like Charlie can just go to like the encyclopedia and say, or like Wikipedia and say, here's who I want to be speaking at AmmCon,
Yeah. Well, I've only been reached out to once, and of course I went. That was 21, I think. Because 21 they had, I believe it was 21 that GRPC was online, I think.
Yeah.
And then that year that GRPC was online, AmmCon was in Texas. And the following year, both were in Texas.
Okay. That's how I was remembering it. Was kind of the same state, but not really.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I say, I have no idea who this is, and turning strangers into raving fans, like, okay, whatever. Do we need that? Like, it's a skill set. So then they go to lunch for an hour. That seems like a long time to go to lunch on a day that you're there to learn, but you know what I mean? I don't care. Rebranding an organization? What the hell is this about? Like, why do we need to know about this? Unless this is like, here's a little behind the scenes so you know, to do your job better or something, but I don't know what this is. Oh, this is somebody works for SAF. So
right. They needed their presence in there, I guess. Something.
I don't know. Oh, it's this guy. I've seen this guy before. He was hanging out. It's this guy here. Mm-hmm. He was hanging out with SAF president guy, Adam. Now he was like holding the camera and wearing a tie and stuff with that guy as they walked around. I've seen him when I was helping Charlie at SHOT Show. Mm-hmm. All right, so digital media manager, it's SAF. If I don't know. I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to impress me. So then we go to how to report on to a Supreme Court and other cases by Mark Smith, the Four Boxes Diner. I don't know. Let you go first. What do you think about an hour of Mark Smith telling you how to report on?
I like Mark Smith. He's one of the better ones that you need to listen to, I think, if you're going to follow court cases and other things, because he's still clickbaity as shit. So it's fucking Pam Bondi and or whatever, right? Or
thumbnail of every video.
Yeah, right. And it's always
like or frowning or something.
It's always over the top. So the clickbaity annoys the shit out of me with him. But I mean, that's with everything. That's just how you have to do it nowadays. I get it. The substance of what he does. I don't like that he spends like 3 minutes giving you a synopsis and talking about himself. Why don't he just dive into it? Because he is so detailed with a lot of the stuff.
I get it
Um,
because he's trying to make his money on his books instead of YouTube, and that's the only way to do it because
yeah,
people are going to just search and find his stuff. They're not
yeah.
going to his channel and subscribe.
Well, I'm trying to knock on him without knocking on him. You know what I mean? Like, because I do watch, I do watch Mark. I do watch Four Boxes Diner, and I do think it's one of the better ones out there. So,
Yeah, I don't have a
um,
problem with me. That's the thing. It's like I don't want to
I
have like I don't know
the
maybe a famous saxophone guy tell me how to play saxophone, or like
uh-huh,
some sports guy tell me how to hit a home run. Like that's
uh-huh,
what you're paid for. Like you go do it. Like
right,
I guess it's a good idea to have other people reporting on the Supreme Court, but I
yeah.
just don't. I mean, I can. It's an interesting thing to hear from him point out,
Well,
and it's not like he's there every year, so that's cool. Like I
and
don't mind.
this may be a subtle. I'm not saying it's that way, but it may be a subtle dig at the clickbait mongers and the fear mongers that do essentially what he's doing because he doesn't operate that way. I will say that. That's one of the reasons I watch him. Right. He gives you a very analytical breakdown on things. Whereas some of the other ones, I'm not even going to mention them, will do the same thing with the super clickbaity thumbnails and titles and stuff. And then you get into it, and there's really no substance or even information that they give you, right?
Right?
It's
They don't
just,
even know what they're talking about because they're only reading an article.
yeah, it's the world's on fire, the world's on fire, oh, type stuff.
Well, so an hour of that guy, like I said, I don't know. I hope that he doesn't just attract people like, I want to meet Mark Smith and then waste everybody's time by just sitting there being antsy until he talks and then leave.
Right.
Anyway, AI debate. Of course, I want to hear this one. Good or bad? Come on. It should be AI, how to use it, for crying out loud. This is 2025 and we're acting like good or bad. Like, this drives me nuts. Cheryl Todd, Amanda Suffolk, Lee Williams, and Mark Walters. So
Does
Cheryl,
any of them even use AI or even
yeah,
know it
there's
exists?
nothing about Cheryl Todd. I like her a lot, but there's nothing about Cheryl Todd that makes me think she knows anything about AI. She hasn't used it as far as I know at all. Mark Walters will not shut the fuck up about anything. I mean, he does a valid service by being live every day and talking about shit, but that means he can't be online using AI, which I am every single day. Other people are getting paid to do it. I don't know who Lee Williams is. Amanda Suffolk, again, what the hell does she do with AI? So I don't know why these people are on, but like I say, the reason I won't go is because they had such a piss poor, horrible presentation about AI that one year that I went in Phoenix, and it's driving me nuts because it's such a powerful thing. And it's so, here's the thing, I'm about to do an article written by AI about how being scared of AI and banning it is his dumbass of being scared of guns and banning them. It's
Right.
like, I don't know these things, so we should ban them. I'm scared of who might use them. I don't know shit, so I'm scared of things that are fake. I'm gonna ban them. It's just stupid.
Right.
So I do not understand why they're spending an hour and don't have people on here. I mean, we've got, okay, here's another thing. Then we got Michael Schwartz for an hour. Walk softly and carry a big podcast. Yeah, but you don't do your podcast live anymore, and your podcast was never big, dude. So if you're going to talk, I'd like Michael Schwartz a lot. I mean, I'm not picking any of these people. I like these people, but having somebody on to talk about a big podcast, how much Mark Walters right there? Like, he's got a way bigger podcast every single day, and it's massive. So, like, why are you having Michael on? Michael is more about it being an activist and how to get, he's like a very good, what's the word, like orchestrator or coordinator, or I think it's orchestrator is the right word, of like the community, the not the community, but like the city of San Diego, that community, then the gun community, and then politicians, and then like the industry. Like Michael is able to in San Diego perform what nobody else can do, and he's doing it in fucking California. Like, he could be talking about California, for crying out loud. Like, he does not need to be talking about this. Because honestly, he doesn't even do the stuff. Like, other guys do the actual podcast for them. So it's just, they're just not in the right place.
It doesn't even look like there's that many segments.
No, that was it. So that's fine. It's just that if you're going to do just 4 segments like that, they should be fucking good. And it should be, should we be doing, like, how do we grow ourselves? How do we get a staff? How do we fund ourselves? How do we not burn out?
Yeah, there's no funding in there at all. There's nothing about the money that makes
funding. Don't burn out. Get more people on your staff. Get bigger. Get stronger. And here's tricks to the trade. But none of this, like, this is either for the public. That's my main. It's been one of my big issues with the whole thing. This
Well,
is
then
either
why
for
would
the
they
public
not
or
be
it's for
live
us.
streaming it if it was for the public?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's either for the public or it's for us. And if it's for us, it should be streamed to us. And if it's for the public, it should be streamed in a public way. But this isn't streamed at all. But this is almost like it's, I don't know what this is for, but this is
We need
what
something to do on Friday before AmmCon.
fucking,
For
I
the
don't want to
people
say
that
it like that,
Or
but
going to
that's
AmmCon.
like
I don't mind saying it. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. So it could have been so much better. I've only been saying it since the first fucking time. Give me the fucking reins. Now I can actually afford to do it. Like, give me the fucking reins. I'll do it. I can do it better. Way better. Anyway, next we get to GRPC, and they're not streaming it. If they were streaming it, I wouldn't have to be in a hurry to leave, but I'm going to have to leave here in about 5-10 minutes now because I'm going to go do real work. But we get the GRPC. Like I say, I was looking for the stream for AmmCon. I know this will stream, and I will stream this tomorrow. I mean, I'll get on and commentate, I guess, or whatever I do while it's streaming tomorrow on its YouTubes. But I was hoping that that AmmCon was going to be streamed. So I was looking for it this morning, found this, and decided to go live right now. So this is what prompted me to go live. I'm going to go quicker now. So tomorrow they start at 7. They have a reception sponsor. Oh, that's tomorrow. Why do I keep saying this? This is tonight. A reception sponsored by Silencer Shop. All right. Now, first off, USCCA makes $24 million a month. I have no idea what Silencer Shop makes because I don't know how to calculate it. But can you imagine how much money Silencer Shop makes? I mean, they're the ones with the kiosks and all the stores, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's 11 grand for a kiosk. So just for a kiosk. So yeah.
So Silencer Shop, fucking awesome. Putting your money where your mouth is. Like, it's an awesome company putting money to where it actually matters. Paying for booze, or no, with Cash Bar. So they're paying for the food for all these people. And like you were saying in the comments, like this was the best part about it, right? Like the get together. So Silencer Shop could not have impressed me more with this. Alan is going to say stuff and he just gets up and then everybody gets drunk. Not everybody, but the people who get drunk become useless and the rest of the people chat for a little while and then we go to bed.
Yeah.
So then Mark Walters is going to start it at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Listen to Alan and Adam say stuff for 15 minutes. So they'll just say hello and thank you everybody for being here. Then we got AWR Hawkins. Waste of fucking time. Self-defense, the central component of the Second Amendment. The central component of the Second Amendment is not, oh my God. So anyway, this guy, I don't like him. I don't like listening to him. That's 15 minutes. What it takes to protect America's schools. I guess it's timely and people won't shut up about it. So you got that. I don't know what the Walk Up Foundation is. So that's either kudos for having something new or it has to be kudos for having something new. They're not going to waste our time with something that's lame, right? So that's cool. So we're going to hear about a new organization that takes on this. I don't think it's the biggest issue, but people think it's the biggest issue.
Yeah, something different.
Did you hear about Ava Flanell? So this is Dragon Man's one daughter.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right? Yeah, well, she did pretty much quite a bit of activism when Colorado started to get their ass punched lately. And then nuts punched lately. I got a fucking mosquito buzzing me right by my ear. And there's no way to hit my electric fly swatter right at my ear.
For me being a fly on the wall at TriggerCon one year, yeah, she needs to do something else because she doesn't do really well with well, I probably should shut up and not get so much behind the scenes, but I literally stood back and watched her entourage tell her what to say about guns on camera and the trigger and all the, you know what I mean? Like
that's
not.
So that's the thing.
Hopefully she's better at the 2A advocacy part and knows rather than people telling her.
Well, I have no idea about all that.
Yes,
I never watched
woman,
their channel or whatever. But like say, she hung out with We Like Shooting in them, and I don't give it. And I never watched that kind of stuff where they just slap ass and swear all the time. I mean, I swear all the time, but anyway, they just
they're all right there together anyway in Colorado.
So anyway, she got off my radar a long time ago, and then whenever Colorado started getting their nuts punched, she got back on my radar because she was doing stuff. She was paying attention, and she didn't need to. She was making plenty of like attention doing her thing with her podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't make no attention. You don't get no money. You don't get no attention. In fact, you lose as soon as you start talking about it, activism, you start immediately losing any kind of attention from your audience, and you take all that time away. Any time you spend worrying about activism is time you could have been making money. So you're literally paying for it as soon as you start talking about activism at all. So I gave her, and I know that, so I gave her credit for that. But here's the thing. Just yesterday or the day before, I heard about this today, but just yesterday or the day before, somebody had like stepped down from their position as a representative at the state level in Colorado, I believe. And she's taken that position. So she's now, I think, a state representative for whatever district she lives in. So she's literally one of the very few people who's actually on board as a politician as who comes from an activist. And isn't it weird that they're all female? But anyway, maybe it's not weird. Maybe we should all shut up and let the ladies finish this or whatever. But anyway, I thought that's awesome. So that's happening days before she's now speaking at GRPC. So whatever she was supposed to be talking about there, she now has a lot more, like her says, from passion to purpose. Like that has a lot more meaning, since it was probably a potential. She must have known something about it when, she was getting ready, but now, she's actually in that. It's not even like it has to be elected. I think the lady stepped down and appointed her in her place or something like that. So she didn't have to like go through an election. She's just now a representative. And that's, basically what's that called? For purposes of the next election, she's the
incumbent.
Thank you. Yeah. Even though she never got elected. So it's kind of like getting a step in. Anyway, that's pretty neat. I'm not saying she's perfect and that she's going to be amazing. I don't know anything about any of that. It's just that, we don't have any other gun rights activists who are doing that shit. Gun owners' rights activists. Anyway, so I got to get moving. The review of the lower court cases and the rake of Bruin. How boring is that going to be for 15 minutes?
Dude, that's what I was fixing to say before you got to that. I was already looking at it, and I'm like, the most boring fucking parts of Phoenix, which is the only one I spent, all day, both days, was the lawyer chat. Like the lawyer stuff was horrible.
So many ways to complain about it, because is this made for us? If it's made for us, change it. Like, give us actual data from lawyers. Like, we don't need to hear the same shit, because it's the same shit every year from lawyers. But if it's for the public, holy crap, change it. Like, change it quickly. Like, change it a lot. Like, get a Colin Noir lawyer in there, not whoever the hell lawyers they had in there.
Or Mark Smith.
But this is, notice this part. This is NRA ILA. So there's 2 NRA people at GRPC. That is unprecedented. That hasn't, I don't think it's ever happened. It hasn't happened in a long time. So, of course, everybody who's gonna lazy rage, I hate the NRA, so I don't have to do something. I can just blame it on the NRA. Like, they're gonna not deal with this. How are people gonna deal with the fact they can't blame the NRA for everything anymore?
So that could very well be some influence from Amanda Suffolk, though, right?
Of course. Or Richard or anybody, because the NRA has changed. It's not even like the NRA is changing anymore. That was a couple of years ago. The NRA has changed, and this is evidence of it. So, I mean, plus it's only 15 minutes. So it's not like they gave him an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Minutes. Yeah. And the thing is, he might go, here's the wake of Bruin. NRA's different. Get ready. Roll up your sleeves or sit the fuck down. I hope he says something like that. He's not gonna, but that'd be cool. Next is Austin Knudsen, Attorney General of the state of Montana. Steve Montenegro, Speaker of the House Arizona Representatives. So fireside chat with the Attorney General and Speaker of the House. I'll give them credit. That's fucking pretty cool. I don't care about Montana so much. I like Arizona. I think Arizona is important. I mean, obviously Montana is awesome and it is important, but if I had to pick, because I'm being a dick, let's have Attorney General of California or Colorado or somebody in here, because I don't think Montana's at risk of anything except being awesome. Arizona is like, we're at risk of being Californiaized, and Montana is too. I don't want to lighten the fact that Montana's getting wailed on, but they got like 2 black eyes and they're huge. Like, there's other states that have broken legs and their arm is being ripped off and they're little. So, Montana's not like the one I think of as in need. But anyway, that's still awesome. Like, that is neat. And I don't know what they mean by fireside chat. Last time they did a fireside chat, it was like kind of fake questions that seemed kind of canned and then kind of rehearsed answers, it's felt like, but we'll see. Cam Edwards countering the gun control long game. Is there a fucking long game from the gun control side? That's giving him a lot of credit. Anyway, Cam Edwards.
No,
whatever.
I reject that premise. Right,
Yeah.
I do personally.
It's only 15 minutes, so we'll hear.
They have no cohesive message, and the messages change with every tragedy they can exploit. So I don't see the long game.
Yeah, their long game is the same thing over and over.
I mean, they've got, don't get me wrong, they got an ultimate goal, which is complete disarmament, but I don't see the ultimate goal being. Yeah, I don't think you can conflate an ultimate an end game an ends right.
Yeah, with a strategy to get there.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, and it's only like the means, because it's like they were told to by their grandparents. Like at some point that could be shifted, and if we go around acting like they can't be, then it's like we're creating a fucking rule of some fucking game that doesn't need to exist and doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, we're not
like, oh, we can't change their mind. Well, fuck yeah, we can change their fucking mind, and if we can't, then let's figure out how to, because we can't. Like, there's nothing
right.
saying we can't change anybody's fucking mind.
Right, and we're not, we're not fortune tellers or whatever. We can't see the future. We don't know what that speech that's going to be about. But how different would that be if it would be, the title of that would be gun control has no long game, right? Like that would be a much more powerful to me.
Yeah, gun control, long game, question mark. Yeah. Guilt by association, confiscation arising from the temporarily disqualified family member. Nope. Don't even need to fucking have that on any menu ever. Your right to remain silent. I got to get going. Your right to remain silent. Legal update on silencers.
Lawyer.
Well, like, is this for the public or is this for us? Because I don't know. I just don't. Advocacy through action. The future is watching. Carrie Ann O'Clair. Massachusetts is getting fucking slammed. They need all the attention they can get. Giving her 15 minutes is insulting. How far we've come. Asad Ayub, who now owns the Second Amendment Foundation, I think, or whatever they call that. Like, he's got 15 minutes. He'll be impressive because he's capable and competent. Whatever they task him with, he'll fucking excel at. Then it's lunch, sponsored by 2A Bourbon Week. I don't know, of all the things, like, I guess, but sponsor dinner or something. I don't know, lunch. Vorkortsen. It's interesting.
Well, the break is bourbon. The luncheon is Vorkortsen. So
yeah, you're right. Understanding, but that's also nice how they created a fake ass break to get two sponsors in there. But again, thanks for the sponsors for being sponsors.
All right.
Understanding mass murders. I don't want to listen to John Lott. Sorry. I like John Lott, but no. Have John Lott defend himself and his research so that people can defend his research. Like, I don't need to have him present shit to us. If we fucking gave a shit about this, we'd have fucking read about this.
Well, you can get that out of his books, right?
Yes.
Everything he's going to say there, you can get from reading his books.
And if this is for the public, again, give the public something they haven't seen before. So this was a waste of everybody's time. Special awards, pat themselves on the back awards. Break sponsored by CZ. Quit buying Colt and leave us alone. Christian Craighead, former UK. So this is the guy that busted into that hotel, like the SAS guy or whatever he is. So that guy's cool. Like, I'm glad that they've got somebody fucking cool. Now I'm wondering if that's supposed to appeal to like Redditors or something, but I don't get it. But it is cool.
Yeah.
It's not going to appeal to Shell Todd. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who that's for. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
How the Second Amendment got me into politics as a teenager. State representative from Montana, who must be a kid, I guess. Okay.
Can't be that young if they're a state representative.
Well, they might be 16 or some shit, or 18. Fireside, and if that's the case, we definitely need to know what the mindset is of a kid.
No, I'm not knocking the segment. That's a cool segment, but it'd be interesting to know how old that person is. Yeah.
If we have more time, we could dig into it. I'm glad. Fireside chat with Sara Weaver from Ruby Ridge. Like,
that'd be cool.
Fucking interesting. For 15 minutes is insulting. So I don't know what the point is, except it's like almost like a weird clickbait, and I think it's disrespectful almost.
Yeah, kill some of the lawyers speak earlier. Kill some and give them at least 30 minutes or something, Yeah.
Well, it is 30 minutes, but still, it's gonna anyway. Past, present, and future of 2A politics. Chris Cox. So that'll be interesting. They give him a half an hour. He should say like, I'll do it in 10. You can give that to Sara Weaver. We can do it at once. Then there's another break powered by CZ. Gunshots, hearing loss, and suppressors, the science behind hearing protection. Are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing? Give that to Sarah.
That's got no place
Nothing.
in advocacy, right? Like,
litigating arms bans, lessons from the assault weapons litigation, court of appeal. I don't even want to complete that fucking sentence.
Lawyer.
Killing, choke point, an anti-fragile future for firearms industry. That is a bunch of weird words, but that's probably going to be a good one. But it's because it's liberal-ish, I think, and but I don't know, like what the fuck, and it's in the middle.
But I mean, how much of the firearm industry is that geared toward them? Because how much, or not much in the firearm industry is going to be paying attention to them. So I don't know. I'm lost on that.
No, exactly. Like, who is this for, and why are they putting it in the middle of all this lawyer stuff? Keeping the shooting sports alive so litigation. Some SAF guy, state of the industry. The National Sporting Goods Wholesalers is going to tell us the state of the industry. Like, I'm going to go tell you what NSSF says.
NASGW, yeah.
I
don't know. NASGW is pretty solid. I mean,
they're big, but I'm just saying, like, they only know like some of it, and it's like half of it is sporting goods.
Yeah, and there's some animosity now.
I gotta go. The NRA guy, the vice president of the NRA, which is again amazing, but for 15 minutes. Then Mark Smith is back again for 15 minutes. Come on. And then Jared has 15 minutes. Proof of action turns advocacy into victory. I don't know what victories he's going to claim, but sponsored by Grab a Gun with a Cash Bar. So I'll talk more about this tomorrow for sure. I don't know if you want to jump in, but I'll be streaming the whole thing tomorrow. I don't like to bitch about what's going on, but I give a shit. I'm passionate about this. I know what's going on, and I'm not going to go, oh, okay, it's okay, better than nothing, because it's not better than nothing. But it is what we got. So I'm not bitching at it. I'm bitching because it's not so much fun.
Right. It's constructive, right? In my mind, it's constructive. Like, I'm totally happy they do it. You know, I'm glad that people show up for it. I'm glad that there are people paying attention, but it's like there's certain little nitpicks that, you know, if they would listen, I think could make it better.
All right. Well, that's an hour. Thanks. I got to go make actual money. So does he. And we'll see you later. Thanks for joining us.